Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. In today's video, we're going to be making 3 really great chicken recipes. Earlier this week, I shared a ground beef video, so I figured why not, let's go ahead and do some chicken recipes as well. All 3 of these meals turned out great this week, and I do think there was some really good variety between them, so let's go ahead and get started and I will show you how to make them. First up today, we're starting with a chicken Parmesan casserole. To begin, I'm just going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 400 degrees. For this recipe, I'm going to be making my Parmesan chicken that I make all the time. You've probably seen it here on my channel before, but we're going to go ahead and make it again so we can add it into this recipe. You will need 2 large chicken breasts cut down the center to make 4 thinner pieces. Then on both sides of the chicken, you're just going to sprinkle them with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Now to set up my little breading station, I do have 3 bowls here. In the first one, I'm going to add a half cup of all-purpose flour. In the second bowl, I'm adding 2 eggs, and I am going to take a fork and beat those eggs. And finally, in the third bowl, I'm adding a half cup of panko breadcrumbs, a half cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and about 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Give that a little mix to mix everything together, and now we're going to start with our chicken. So first you will take it over to the flour. Make sure to get the flour on every little bit of that chicken. Shake off the excess and then dip it into your egg. Then once again, shake off the excess and move it over into the Parmesan and breadcrumb mixture. Then you'll just continue doing that with all 4 pieces of chicken. This is what your chicken should be looking like before it goes into the pan. I'm going to add this chicken into a nice hot skillet. This is a cast iron skillet. It's about 12 or 13 inches big and it works wonderfully for this recipe. I added about 1 tablespoon of avocado oil and 1 tablespoon of butter in here. Let that melt and get nice and hot, and then I added in all 4 pieces of my chicken. Now I'm going to let this chicken cook for about 2-ish to 3 minutes on this first side until there is color on it like this. And then we're actually going to transfer this into the oven. Once in the oven, it's going to bake for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. It just kind of depends how thick your chicken is. You just want to make sure that in the thickest part of the chicken, it reaches 165 degrees. Now that the harder part of the recipe is done, we're going to move on to the easy part. As you can see, I have some water boiling here. I'm going to go ahead and start 12 ounces of pasta. Any pasta will do, so just pick your favorite kind. And then while that pasta is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and slice up my chicken. I like to slice mine, but if you want to cut yours up into little cubes, you could also do that. Now that my pasta is done, I'm going to go ahead and drain off the water. And then into this pan, you're going to add 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. Then this part's optional, but I like to do it. You can add in about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And then you will add in about 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. Once everything is in the pan, go ahead and give this a really good mix together. Next, you're going to be needing a pan about a 9x13 casserole dish or something similar like what I have here. Spray that down with some nonstick spray, and then you're going to add in your pasta. Spread the pasta around in there as even as you can, and then we're going to start adding the chicken on top. For the chicken, I just like to pick it up with a spatula and try to keep it all in a line just like this. It just kind of keeps it looking a little bit nicer. Add all the chicken to the top, and then you're going to top it off with some more cheese. For this cheese, I'm adding an additional cup of mozzarella along with about a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Then before putting this in the oven, I am going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of parsley. This is just going to add some good color to the top. And then this will bake in your oven for about 15 to 20 minutes on that 400 degrees until it's looking something like this. Here is what my plate looked like in the end, and let me tell you, going the extra mile and making that homemade Parmesan chicken made this entire meal 10 times better. This pasta is super filling, but if you want to make some sides to go along with this, a side salad and some garlic bread will pair perfectly. Next up, another recipe that I would say was 10 out of 10 this week is this Chipotle chicken burger, and for this one I'm going to begin by making our homemade Chipotle mayo. Into a bowl you'll need about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise along with a 1/2 teaspoon of Chipotle chili powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Only 3 ingredients, but we love having this on burgers or chicken, and it's really good to dip your french fries into. You'll just give that a good mix together. It should look something like this, and then you'll set it aside or add it into the refrigerator until everything else is ready. Next, we're going to chop up 1/2 of a yellow onion, and with this onion you want to make sure you chop it up pretty fine. After it's chopped up, you can go ahead and add it into a larger bowl. Along with the onion, you're also going to need about 3 chipotle peppers. These are just some peppers from a can of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. You can add some of the sauce in here as well. Mine were partially frozen because I had just got them out of the freezer, but you'll just want to make sure that they're cut up in small pieces, and then you'll add it in with the onion. Next, add in a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, a big pinch of parsley, I'd say this was probably a tablespoon or so, 2 dashes of lime juice, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and finally 1 pound of ground chicken. Now I went ahead and tried to mix this together as much as I could with the fork since there was chipotle peppers in here, and then I pattied them up into 4 separate burgers. Into my large cast iron skillet, I went ahead and added in some avocado oil. I gave that a minute or so to get hot, and then I added in my burgers. These burgers will cook for about 3 to 4 minutes per side over a medium-high heat until they are browned on each side and reaching at least 165 degrees in the center. Now it's time to add the cheese, and today I'm using some sliced pepper jack cheese. We love the pepper jack cheese. It adds another little layer of spice in there and gives it really good flavor. And then here's what my burger looked like in the end. I did choose to add some lettuce, tomato, and red onion on here. I think they pair perfectly, and then once you add the chipotle mayo on there, this burger is just so delicious. Both of us really love this. It is a little spicy, so just beware of that, but overall 10 out of 10. And now we're going to try a new recipe. This is a Greek chicken marinade. As you can see, I have my little baggie set up here, and into the baggie I am adding 1 pound of chicken. I am using chicken breast, but you could also use thighs or whatever you want. Next, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, the juice of half a lemon. That's a little bit less than the recipe called for, but I just knew if I added too much, my husband wouldn't like it. 2 teaspoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 2 teaspoons of oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Then you'll just take the bag off of there and go ahead and remove all the air out of there as much as you can. And then I'm just mixing this up the best I can, and it's going to go in my refrigerator for about 7 hours until I'm ready to cook dinner. Next, I added about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil into my pan, and I let that get nice and hot. Now I'm just going to add the chicken in here and let this chicken cook for a couple minutes on each side until it's cooked all the way through. My chicken did get a little dark in some areas, but I honestly just think that is from the honey, so it's not really a big deal. But here's what it looked like on my plate there. This chicken was really flavorful. It was still nice and soft inside, so I would say this is a great recipe to try out if you've never tried it before. Even my picky husband liked it, which I was very surprised about. And then to go with it, I did make some Greek-style potatoes, but I will be sharing those in an upcoming video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed and found a recipe that looks good to you. Don't forget to leave me a flower down in the comments below if you did make it all the way to the end of today's video, and I will see you back here on Wednesday for a new video. Bye!